Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone report is beautiful. But we also hear, stated here, that there's a major dispute as to representation and how the election will be done. It's obvious. If you speak with one Sierra Leone delegate or two, they will tell you that the political situation they are going towards the election is unstable. There's no need for we to hide anything from each other here. If we in Nigeria discover that there will be no free or fair election, of course we say it out. Because if we say it out, and then once it intervenes, it's helping us. But if we know that there's something that could create problem in the country, and then we come here and sit there and say there's nothing, and something happens, we have lost two countries. So,
a situation where police are entering parliament to make sure that there is a decorum in parliament means that that country political situation is not stable.
After the August 10 incident, I think that statement need to be restated, because we know just a few weeks ago there was a situation at the parliament where parliament member had to fight, and like my colleague said, security personnel had to come in. I'm sure we don't want to consider that kind of situation as saying that security situation is stable.
I think there's a great situation, and this parliament must send a fact-finding mission to Sierra Leone to investigate this major violation. It's not the first time, it's not the second time, it's the third time. The second issue in Sierra Leone is that less than a year to election, Sierra Leone is still trying to change the electoral law. They're still trying to change the election law to work in the favor of the ruling establishment. I think it's quite alarming, and maybe the Sierra Leone delegation need to speak to this again.
On the issue of the election law, the head of delegation was not mentioned this, that 1 year to the election you are trying to change the election law. It's not just the law, it's changing the system, where the law obviously affects the system. Now the system is trying to bring into place a proportional representation. But Chair, for the short of my political life, proportional representation is done where there are no defined electoral boundaries. And the law of the delegation of Sierra Leone can bear me out of this. If whatever their law say, I will be willing to listen to them. How do you want to move to a proportional representation when there are clearly defined political boundaries, when there are clearly established political constituencies, but yet you want to move to proportional representation as though there are no laws and order? The last time I remember there was proportional representation in Sierra Leone was when the war had just ended. There were no system, there were no laws. I think they did that. Similar thing happened in Liberia, but after recovery now, after all these years, how come you want to move to proportional representation when there are clearly defined political constituencies?